Meet the visionary Matt Alderton, the king of networking. It all started with an entrepreneurial spark, a hunger to create, to imagine. But something was missing: fulfillment.
I had a number of retail and hospitality businesses back in the early 2000s, very service-based businesses, but I didn't want to do that for the rest of my life.
He had one thing: passion. A passion for connecting, for smiling, talking, listening. He knew relationships build empires. That's when BX Networking was born.
What I loved doing is I loved working with people, serving people, training people, educating people. I'd spent a lot of time with my team. We had over 200 team members across the shops. I thought I would love to continue to help people be the best they could be, and I'd love to do it in the space of leadership.
Helping entrepreneurs grow beyond limits by doing one thing: meeting people. Matt gives away the one secret, the secret to winning deals, to scaling exponentially, to building a business through the power of giving.
Most people join networking because they want to get more sales, get more business. And the number one rule I always say is when you come in, look for...
You're watching the Peppermint I.T's Sip and Solve podcast, and your access to the secret starts now. So get ready, sip some tea, and learn how to create and scale your business exponentially. Welcome back to Sip and Solve, the podcast where we serve up tech and business insights over a cup of tea. Today's guest is someone who truly knows the power of people, Matt Alderton, founder of BX Networking and a champion of connection-driven business growth. Matt's joining us to unpack the topic of the power of connection and how building relationships builds your business. And he's here to share why networking isn't just about swapping business cards, but it's about building meaningful relationships that move the needle. If you've ever wondered how you can grow your business without spending heaps of money on advertising, he is your man. So let's dive in. Welcome, Matt.
Hey, Louise. Great to be here.
Thank you for coming on the Sip and Solve. First of all, we are a bit tech-based here at the Peppermint I.T Sip and Solve. You might be surprised to know. The first thing that I like to know, though, is what kind of tea you like to drink.
Well, I love tea, actually. Tea is like my happy place. So it's so funny that you talk about this on your show because I like an English breakfast. I like a double strength, double bag. So I like a very strong English breakfast tea. But what I love, and I have it with milk as well, and I have it with a good, dolloping of milk. Really, I like it very milky, but strong and milky. So it's so funny. People talk about it, but I think it comes from my grandma, my nan, used to serve us tea after dinner. So in a pot, and she'd make the tea. And she'd serve us tea after dinner. So it's probably something that connects me back to my childhood in some way. But the funny thing is, when I was a kid, I would sit at the dinner table at my grandparents' house, and I'd have my cup of tea and had sugar in our tea back then. Don't have it anymore, obviously. But I would get a teaspoon of sugar and I'd dunk it in the tea, and then I'd eat the sugar, the milky sugar, like tea sugar off the spoon. Yeah. And my mum would say, "Stop doing that. You're not allowed to eat that. That's disgusting." And my nan would say, "Let him do. He's at my house. Let him do whatever he wants to do." If my mum said it to me now, I'd I'd go off at her. But it's funny what got away with anything at Nan's house. But tea makes me think of my nan. I suppose it's warm and nurturing.
Yeah. Well, that's exactly warm and nurturing is exactly how it's supposed to be. And from Peppermint I.T and the IT lady, because I don't drink coffee, which is why I became the IT lady. But also it's about the connotations of exactly that, which is taking a break and feeling refreshed and nurtured and happy, and really stopping what it is that you're doing so that you can alleviate the stress of the day. And so I love to have a cup of tea, and so that's our first order of business is to work out what kind of tea we like. I currently have, and if you were here in the office today, you would also have a cup of tea with me. I've got a cinnamon tea, which is a nice afternoon blend.
I do like a licorice tea as well. It's a nice one. Speaking, I drink licorice tea because it's good for the throat. So
yes. Yeah, it's good for digestion as well. Chris tea.
We could talk tea all afternoon.
We could, and we're allowed. We can talk about whatever we want.
That's it, eh?
But so it does lead into our topic today, though, because our topic is about the power of connection, and sitting down and having a cup of tea with somebody is a way to have a conversation and to connect with somebody else. So it does segue nicely into connections. So I'm interested in your story about how BX came about and where your vision for connecting people and businesses came from.
This is a great segue because I used to serve tea. Can you believe it? I had a number of retail and hospitality businesses back in the day. So back in the early 2000s, 20 odd years ago, I used to own cafes, Subway restaurants, and video stores. In the cafes, we'd serve tea, coffee, all that sort of stuff, very service-based businesses. But I didn't want to do that for the rest of my life. So as I was approaching my 40s, I'm like, I just can't see myself into my 40s, 50s, and 60s still owning retail and hospitality. Not something I want to do. As much as I loved them, there was many parts that I didn't. And so I was really kind of working out what I wanted to do, where I wanted to go. And what I loved doing is I loved, working with people, serving people, training people, educating people. I spent a lot of time with my team. We had over 200 team members across the shops. And I invested a lot in their leadership training, their, the service and skills around that. So I thought I would love to continue to help people be the best they could be. And I'd love to do it in the space of leadership. So in 2011, 2012, I invested in a program called the John Maxwell Leadership Team. And it was a 12-month program where I learned how to be the best leader I could be, as well as deliver coaching, training, speaking, for leadership. And I did that and I went to the US. I got certified in it. I was certified with one of the first 50 odd coaches of the John Maxwell team. And there's now over 60,000 coaches worldwide in his program. So we got back in, right at the early stages. But it put me on a path to serving small business. And the leadership really morphed into small business education. In 2015, I launched BX as an education organization, training business owners how to grow and scale their business through a 12-month training program called the Business for Life program. And you may recognize the name because I've just relaunched our online training bootcamp called the Business for Life program as well, just this month. So you'd know about it being one of our team before the actual official launch of it in a couple of weeks or a week or so. And we ran events, big events, 500,000-600,000 people at those events. We ran those twice a year. Then we ran 4 quarterly boot camps throughout the year to help people grow their business. And every time I ran an event, the feedback survey always was, Matt, we love the event, but we want to do more networking. Now, interestingly, how I grew the business was through all the networking that I did, and all my people that were in the network, in my business and clients, they wanted more networking. So I introduced networking into the business, and it just took off from there. Before we knew it, within a few years, we were doing more networking events than anything else. And it wasn't until 2023 that I really introduced the education part of the business back in at the Exponential Conference 2023. I introduced our Diamond program, and then April 24, I introduced the Exclusive program, which I know you know very well. And so we're back into the education side of things as well, but still networking is now across 5 countries. So that's still going gangbusters for it as well.
Yeah, amazing. And I think when you talk about the education and the networking part of it, I've been part of the BX network for a couple of years now. And my favorite part of every meeting is the Excite presentation where somebody talks about what they do, because you just, every week you learn something that you didn't know, or you hear about something that you hadn't heard about before.
100%. Right.
So the combination of the two is great, because apart from just getting out of your business and into an environment where there are other business owners.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite parts.
Yeah, great. It's one of my favorite parts too. Very good. What would you say? What would you say would be one of the most common mistakes that people make when they're joining a networking group?
Yeah, I think most people, when they come along to a networking group, they're thinking, how do I get more sales? How do I get more business? And most people join networking because they want to get more sales, get more business. And so they walk into the room and they start selling straight away. And I always say, if you sell, you repel. And so what we find is that people that are selling to the room, they actually, don't attract new business. They repel business. So the number one rule I always say is, when you come in, look for how you can help other people, how you can create opportunities for other people, and you'd be surprised how opportunities then find you as well.
Yeah, I love that too. And I always think too, in relation to, I'm sure more than one or two marketing people have done presentations at BX meetings when I've been to them. And one of the things that I feel like I hear from them quite often is that it takes 12 to 15 touch points before somebody remembers your brand. And I feel like it's the same with people as well. People will come to a meeting once and then you don't see them again. And quite often I think, I need a lawyer, but I can't remember what was that person's name. I know that I met someone, but I don't remember who they are. So I feel like there's a lot about repetition and making sure that you're turning up regularly. That makes a difference when you're networking as well.
100%. Like, when you think about it, like, marketing in itself, it's 20 odd touch points, they say. So we know that people don't just you can't just send one email and expect someone to join up to you and sign up to your program or your business or buy your products and services. It's the touch points that surround that email. So it's your social media and any other branding work you do. Like, it's the website they go to. Have they heard about you somewhere before? So 20 times they need to have heard about you before they do business with you. It's no different to people. Like, we train people how to build referral partnerships. If you're building a referral partnership, you can't ring someone once a month and expect them to remember you when they're in front of your ideal client. That's why we say every 2 weeks is perfect. It keeps you top of mind with them. But even when you're in the local room and you're turning up and you've got 20 other people in the room with you, if you're only coming every second or third meeting, you can't expect them to think of you when they need your service, let alone when they're in front of someone that needs your service. So at the end of the day, if we're not in front of people, if we're not continuing to keep ourselves top of mind with our referral partners, with our fellow members, with potential clients, how can we possibly expect them to do business with us or refer business to us? It just doesn't happen. So, you've got to be top of mind, you've got to be in front of them, and you've got to engage. And that happens at all levels of marketing and all levels of relationship.
Yeah, great. How did you think of the name BX?
Oh, that's a good one. I'm glad you asked that, actually, because very few people actually ask it, and there's meaning behind the name. The B stands for business. It's obviously we're predominantly B2B, where we help businesses of all kinds. And the X is algebraic, so it sits to the power of. So it's B to the power of X. So we help grow businesses exponentially. So business to the power of X. So that's where the BX came from. So I love when people know that, and that's why they, so they get to understand a bit more about what we're trying to achieve for our members and clients.
Yeah, great. I love that. Very, very good. And it's nice to know the meaning behind it, because it does give it more meaning, doesn't it? We're going to take a little tea break. Do you have tea with you?
Do I have tea? I have caffeine. I didn't bring my tea over.
That's right. Okay. All right. You can have a sip of Coke. I'm going to ask you. Sorry.
Race to the kitchen and get myself a tea. How's that?
It's okay. You can have your Coke. I'm not offended at all. What I like to know, though, because I'm a little bit nosy, and I feel like it's a little bit like back in the old days when you went to a barbecue and the dads stood around talking about whether they were Ford or Holden people. Yeah. I like to know what devices people use. And
that's a great question.
I call the segment of the Sip and Solve the biodata.
Well, I'm a PC man, but I'm an Apple phone user.
Yes. Okay. So PC. So computer, you have a PC.
Yes.
Yeah. And phone is an Apple.
Yes.
Have an Apple Watch.
Apple Watch as well. Yeah.
Excellent.
I know it's fun.
Yeah, I'm the same actually. I do my work on a PC, and then I have an iPad and an iPhone, and actually I did have an iWatch too, but I've just switched to the Garmin because I'm doing this whole like fitness thing, and there's a whole lot of information it has that I find quite useful, and it connects to the scale. So it's quite good. So,
well, I was chatting to someone. I had a couple of weeks away, and my sister-in-law I was chatting to, and she's got the Garmin, and she was talking about all the features on it, and I'm like, oh, mine doesn't do that.
No. I've had an Apple Watch for 10 years, I reckon, and I just maybe 3 months ago I switched to the Garmin, and there's one feature on it that I really like, which is called the body battery. So it tells you, which basically tells you how much energy you've got, and when you sleep at night, your body battery fills up, and if you've had a good sleep, it will fill all the way up to 100%. But if you haven't had a great sleep, like mine didn't fill up that way. And so I like the body battery bit. And then it just it monitors your stress and a whole bunch of other stuff as well. And then it connects to your scale. So if you're like on a program, cool. It tells you what's going on. So
can't cheat.
I know. So what about the technology that you use? So what's your most used app on your iPhone, do you reckon?
Wow, that's a good one. I'd have to say, my mail app would be like Google Mail, email. It'd have to be the most used. I would say the BX app, but we retired the BX app when we launched our new platform.
Yeah, right. But there's going to be another one, yeah?
Yeah, there will be.
Yeah. Okay. And so I have a partner, and every time I look at him on the lounge when we're watching TV, I work at nighttime, and I look over, and he's always calculating something on his calculator on his. And so it came up on the TV. It was like, somebody was talking about, you can go onto your iPhone and it'll tell you which app you've used. His most used app on the iPhone is the calculator.
That's hilarious. Yeah, probably. I probably spend more time in Instagram, but I probably more frequently access my mail.
Yeah, okay. So, well, that's my next question then. On social media, what is your most used social media app?
Well, I use Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. I have a TikTok account, but I'm not super active on it. But I have a social media team that are working on that at the moment, so that will sort of take a little bit of a shift. But I've been focusing on my Instagram reels and stories and posts and growing that. So in the past, and so I put a lot of effort in there. So at Matt Alderton, if you want to follow me, because I've just got the 16,000 followers, just ticked over 16,000. So I'm trying to push that up. I'd love to get 20 plus thousand nice and soon. Cool.
Excellent. I pressed my ding ding button if you didn't hear it.
Excellent.
Did you hear it? So onto your computer then. What apps do you use mostly on the computer? What do you use for your CRM?
Yeah, good questions. Look, we use Google Suite.
Google Suite, yep.
So Google Suites, we're always in the Google Suite application. Yep. So all of those. I use Asana all the time because that's our task management, project management software app that all of our team are often engaging in. And our CRM, where we spend a lot of time because it's our platform CRM, it's all in one system, is Entrepreneur. And we're forever in that because it's this, it's the integration of all of our booking, registrations, events, the awards portal, the member portal, and all of our back-end CRM, e-commerce platform, etc. So we spend a lot of time in Entrepreneur.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, I think that's the end of my tech questions for you.
Awesome.
So now we can go back to talking about networking, and I would like to ask you about awards.
Yeah.
You'll notice in my back. It's my actual office. It's not a background. That I have 2 BX awards. Maybe it would make my finger go the right.
Okay. We can only just see them. I cut off my screen because we're squared off, but I can see one of them.
Yeah. I have two BX awards in my office.
Oh, I love it. You've done very well through the awards programs. You've won awards. You've been finalist many times as well. You're a serial award entrant, and I'm a big fan of awards programs. Been in a bunch myself as well, and as you know, the value is just so high from an instant credibility and positioning perspective with potential clients and with your current clients. It really helps you stand out amongst the pack with your competition as well. And so I love the awards program. It's why we started the BX Business Excellence Awards program. I think we're in our I've been running awards actually. I've run awards since probably 1999 was the first awards program that I ran, and I ran it when I was working corporately. I ran a company that had 40 Video Easy stores. And so what I do is I do store manager of the year and store of the year and team member of the year and most improved store. So we do that every year, and we do it on an award ceremony, and it was pretty fun because we're a movie industry as well. So we used to do a very red carpet kind of theme. And we do it at the end of the year for the Christmas party and that as well. So it was a double up. And then when I went out in my own businesses and had my own stores, I did the same thing again with the cafes and Subways and the video stores there. And when I went to BX, I'm like, well, we might as well do it for our groups. And so I had group of the year and team leader of the year and all that sort of stuff. And at the same time, we launched our business awards program and ran the same thing. So we've been running them now for like 20 odd years, different awards programs. But the BX Business Excellence Awards, this is our 10th awards program. And like last year, we had the event at the Shangri-La in Sydney, the year before at the Star on the Gold Coast. We're back at the Shangri-La again this year, but the actual awards program has kicked off on the 1st of April. It ends on the 1st of June. So a 2-month window to enter. So people should definitely jump onto bxnetworking.com and enter themselves into the awards program, or nominate someone who's an outstanding business in the awards program as well. It's about recognizing outstanding businesses. It's about recognizing the value you've contributed and the hard work you've put into your business and learning about your business through the program. But most importantly, showcasing your business as a finalist or a winner and positioning yourself through all of the incredible social media presence and the website presence that we give you through our awards program. It costs you nothing to enter. It's something we do to add value to the small business sector. And we normally get 2,000-3,000+ entries in the campaign. And we have about 500 finalists and about 50 winners. So got to be in it to win it, but the value is super high. So, but such a great way to position yourself and your business, I tell you.
And I think, and I know you said that I'm a serial award winner, but I probably do maybe 2 or 3 a year, which over five or more years kind of builds up. But I do feel like I should do more. And the thing that I love most about entering the awards is that there's lots of questions that really challenge what your business structure is. So, what is your financial plan? Have you got a marketing plan? Have you got a business plan? Have you got, what have you got in place for your staff and for your employees? And so it really, every time I do one, it makes me think about the structure that I have and the processes and systems that we've got in place. And it does help me improve each time I do it. So it's a great way of getting some recognition for what you're doing as well. But it is, it's kind of the discipline of making sure that you have all of those business processes and all of that kind of stuff set up. It also, when you talk about winning and having awards and things, reminds me, I guess, when you are in a business, we have this app that I came across recently called Bonusly, because everybody likes to win something. And this app we use in our business it's like a peer-to-peer recognition platform where everybody in the team can thank somebody else in the team for doing something. So if you see that somebody, if you hear someone was on the phone and they did a really great call, or, somebody made a sale or whatever, jump on Bonusly and give somebody points. And so everybody will give everybody points, and you put little funny gifts and stuff in. And that's great. It's such a great way to to reward the team as well. So like levels of rewards. And at the end of the month, if you haven't used your points, you lose them. So everyone is encouraged to share their points among the team. And then with your points, you buy stuff. So like one of our team members just used her bonusly points to pay for 2 days accommodation in Canberra. So,
Wow.
Yeah.
That's so
really
cool. I love it. Yeah, it's so important. I think we don't do enough to recognize the contribution of people like ourselves, our people, our team. So I love hearing stories like that and I've always, I've admired the way you've run your business and grown your business. I love hearing stories like that where, this stuff is great.
It does. It really builds up the team spirit, and nobody says anything horrible to anybody else on the platform. It's all just encouragement. So if something bad happens,
that's right.
But it's just, it's all really lovely things that people are saying about, thank you for supporting me on this call and thank you for doing this. And I heard this happened, and I get points too. People give me points for things.
I love it. It's such a good muscle to flex too, right? So the gratitude, I don't think we do it enough. So it's such a good muscle to flex.
Yeah. Okay. Back to networking. What do you think in terms of business networking people should stop doing?
I think it comes back to the selling factor. That's 100%. Like people spend a lot of time. It's transactional, where we've got a mindset of it. There's a real paradigm shift away from it, but it's taking a long time to make that shift, I think, for people. The reality is that 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago when networking started, it was a sales activity, and it's now morphed into, went from sales to referrals. And we're really trying to shift that to referral partners, because whether it's sales or referrals, that's still a sales conversation somewhere. But when you talk to partners, you're about collaborating, helping, and connecting each other with your clients. That's a different scenario. You're already prospecting on their behalf. So the big shift needs to be for people to stop thinking about networking as a sales activity and start thinking about it as a marketing activity. Because when you market, you don't sell. It's like on social media. People go onto social media and they go, buy my thing. It's like people don't buy on social media. They engage on social media. So you've got to engage and you've got to attract people. You attract them with information, education, and then you engage them through the process. You nurture them through a marketing funnel. And then when someone's interested in what you do, then the sales process kicks in. The better you do the education and engagement, though, the less sales you have to do. They come out at the bottom of your funnel ready to buy. It's no different with any of the marketing you do. If you sell, you repel in the marketing stage. And it's like sometimes I feel like I'm banging the drum or banging people over the head, because it seems like people just, some people just don't get it. They walk into a networking room and they start selling to people, or they're flogging, coaching sessions on Facebook, and you're like, it's not going to work. There's a better way.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that. Okay. Right. All right. We've got a couple of minutes left. And what I would like to know is, what's your favorite part of your job?
My favorite part of the job is actually something I get to do a lot of, and that's go to events. It's a double-edged sword. I love traveling. I don't like leaving my family, though. So the bigger the business has got, the further it takes me away from them. But I do really enjoy traveling. I enjoy seeing our members, seeing our, meeting new guests and new people in the field, catching up with team. It's one of my favorite parts of BX. And, at the end of the day, someone asked me once, if, would you ever sell the business? Would you ever retire? I said, to be honest, I'd give up the management of the business pretty quickly. And all I do is travel and speak and go to events and meetings and things like that. I love that stuff. That's, engaging with the network is one of my favorite parts.
Yeah. So you're obviously extrovert because you love it.
I'm actually not. I know.
I do love hearing and learning about people. And I'm super interested in people. But I do also like quiet time as well. But you get to talk to a lot of people. Like, you must just have a desire to learn about people and connect.
Yeah. I suppose, if you talk extrovert and introvert, you can sometimes introverts can appear an extrovert, but I reckon the big difference is not when they're in front of people, unless you're a real hardcore introvert, like the introverted introvert. I'm probably an extroverted introvert. So even though I'm an introvert, I can appear to be an extrovert when I'm in front of people. But the true test is, what do they do when they recede and they disappear after an event? Are they bouncing around cloud nine going, give me more of this? Or are they like, get me to my hotel room, I need to be by myself and just like decompress? So I'm the decompress guy. So once I've finished the event, I'm like, I need to be away from people because my batteries need to recharge. Whereas extroverted people, they're like, the battery's fully charged when they leave that room. I guess that's the big difference between me. So traveling alone's good because I get offers, come stay at my house. I'm like, actually, I'd love to catch up with you and do dinner and do all that. But at the end of everything, I just want to go to my hotel room and be just by myself. Because
the quiet time, the recovery time. Yeah. Okay. Well, and I guess, breakfast and morning is a good time. Most of the meetings are in the morning, aren't they? So it's a good time to get out there and get some connection. And then
that's true. Actually, in the US and Canada, their lunch meetings are the big meeting times. So, in Australia, mornings are our most popular, but in North America, it's lunch. So Dubai, actually, afternoons. They do afternoon events and stuff. So it's weird, all different times. But mornings, I like lunch meetings because I can sleep in the morning a little bit. I don't have to be out of bed at 6 o'clock in the morning. But either way, it's all good.
Yeah, great. Okay, well, I think that's all the questions I have for you. Is there anything else you'd like to say?
I just want to congratulate you on everything you do and have achieved. I've often said, like, I'm impressed with just what you're able to achieve and do, and where I see you. I saw you on Koshi's Business Builders not long ago, and I'm like, that's Louise. And then you just continue to invest in yourself and getting yourself out there, and from PR courses that we're talking to our exclusive program, obviously. But you just continue to invest in yourself, and really, to me, someone that runs a great business already, but's continuing to learn, invest in themselves, to grow, to put themselves out there, and hits runs. I love it. I love seeing that success amongst business owners, and thumbs up to IT Lady and you, Louise, obviously, for all that you do, because you are a very impressive person, and it's always great to catch up and spend time with you.
Great, thank you very much, and I can put a lot of that praise back on you because I feel like you're very similar to everywhere, all the time, all over the place, and run a great business that really allows so many people to connect and really increase their business. And I'm sure, I do work hard, but I do also go to a fair amount of networking, and I really love the opportunity of being able to get away from the office and talk to other business owners and other small business owners about what's happening within their business, because it's hard and lonely quite often. I'm surrounded by people in my office, but we're talking about business and clients and what needs to be done. Whereas when I go to networking, it's really connecting with people who are in the same position. And it's really, I'm really grateful that you have provided all of us the opportunity. And particularly in our North Sydney group, we have such a great group of people who are really connected and understand each other's businesses, and we all, we help each other out. And so it's nice to have that, that camaraderie with businesses similar to ours. So thank you. I know
you're society this afternoon.
Yes, isn't it? It's great. And I'm very, very pleased and honoured that you took the time out of your very busy schedule to pop into
Not a problem.
Consult.
Great to be here.
Okay. Thank you.